Hi everyone, so in this video I want to talk about reference versus imagination, and it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. So a couple of months ago I went to an art event in Eindhoven, and it was an amazing event. I had a fantastic time, met loads of interesting people, mostly students who I spoke to at that event, and something happened that was really interesting there that I thought I'd talk about here. So I remember I was sitting at a table with some other artists and a friend of mine, and we were talking about just general art-related topics, and across from me was an artist from Germany and another artist who was more local, and they were really lovely people, really nice to talk to. So I remember asking the artist from Germany if I could look through her sketchbook. And I remember before she passed the sketchbook over to me, she said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I need to apologise, but everything here was using reference." And I kind of sat there a little bit in my head. I was a little bit confused because I was wondering, why is someone apologising for using references? Because that's not the right mindset. I was thinking, is there some kind of shame these days for using reference? So that was really interesting. And so, speaking to the gentleman who was local, he was showing his sketchbook, and his sketchbook, in terms of volume, he filled this sort of 100-page sketchbook filled with drawings from front to back. It was really quite impressive, the amount he was drawing. So I remember going through his sketchbook, and I asked him, these drawings are quite interesting, or, tell me a bit about them. And he said they were from imagination. So we went to the next page. Asked him again about the drawings. He said it's from imagination. So after a couple more pages, I was beginning to think, okay, how much of this is from imagination? And that's when he said the whole book was from imagination. But then he also said he only draws from imagination. And so that was really interesting to me, that there's two artists here, and there's this obsession with drawing from imagination, which I'm beginning to see a lot, especially with younger artists and students. Okay, so let me get this straight. If you are drawing from imagination, only from imagination, you're going to struggle, because you're only using up the limited amount of information that you should have studied from references. Okay, if you study from references, you can apply it and then draw from imagination. That's the method you should be using. Okay, we don't want to just regurgitate things that, we're regurgitating information that's limited if we don't study from the references first and then apply it. Okay, I'll give you an example. If I asked you all to draw a chimpanzee, an accurate version of a chimpanzee right now on a piece of paper, without reference, how many of you would be able to do that accurately without having done the prior observational studies and reference studies beforehand? And there's not going to be many who's able to do that, because it doesn't work that way. Okay, we have to do the reference studies before we draw from imagination. Okay, for example, if I were to draw a chimpanzee or any other subject I'm not familiar with 100 times from imagination without reference right now, how much better do you think the 100th drawing would be to the first one? There wouldn't be much difference, because we're not using any information to aid us in being able to do that. Because in our mind, we may think we know exactly what it looks like, but when we put our pen to paper, something completely different is coming out, because we haven't done the studies. So I get it, the appeal of drawing from imagination. We all want to draw from imagination, but we can't be doing it just for the cool points. We have to think about why it's beneficial, how using reference and imagination together can help us improve. We draw it from reference and we draw it from imagination. We analyze the gap in between, then we try and problem solve that gap. And I know that doesn't seem the most exciting way to do it, but that is the way that you're going to have the most progress. Okay, and I know we all want to be like Kim Jong-gi, and we all want to be able to draw from imagination. But for Kim Jong-gi, he was a genius and was able to retain visual information really well. But he drew everything around him. He observed the world around him. He studied. When he was out and about, he was studying everything around him. So he was able to retain a lot of that information to then draw from imagination. Okay, so that's different. We can't compare ourselves to people, 1 in a million people who are absolute geniuses. But what we can do is focus on how we can get better. Okay, if you put 2 drawings in front of me, they're the exact same quality, the exact same standard of drawing. If you say to me, okay, one was from reference, one was from imagination, is it really going to matter that much? I might say, neat, okay, that was cool from imagination, but the quality of the drawing is what's going to appeal, okay, rather than the drawing that was, okay, it was from imagination. Okay, so the best way to do this is to use imagination to help us get better. So if you learn to draw, say, a portrait, a 3/4 portrait for imagination, really accurately, consistently, every time you get your landmarks right, everything's in the right place proportionally. If I then stick a reference in front of you, imagine how much better your drawing will be because of that, right? So you've learned to draw from imagination, and now the reference, you can take a 3/4 reference and suddenly it feels like you're flying. You're able to see everything. You can already do it with your eyes closed. So now that enhances your ability to draw from the reference. Okay, so it works both ways. So there's different ways of looking at it, but we have to think about doing things in a more analytical way and how it's going to improve us. Okay, so never apologize for using reference. Please never apologize for that. Use the references, but use it to help us understand things. And then if you really want to draw from imagination, learn how to apply it and use the references, analyze your mistakes, and go on from there. Okay, so really important points that I really wanted to address. Remember to just try and be as confident as you can in yourself. Okay, and the only way to do that is observe the world around you and then apply the knowledge that you learn. Okay, so good luck, and I will see you in the next video.